Well guys, I acquired something really nice today, as well as a few other things that I needed, especially some parts for that chainsaw. I'm going to go ahead and take this thing out of the focus. I don't know how I got it in there, but I got it in there. So let's put you guys over here on the tripod. Been talking about it for a while, never really got around to doing it, really thought about it. And among all things, I was at Lowe's today because I was getting parts for the small chainsaw, which I picked up a small gas can for both the chainsaws. All this stuff goes in the toolbox. Let's go ahead and put this back in here. But as you can see, I've got my little chainsaw completely dismantled, and that's because, I'll go ahead and pull this out. I bought a new primer bulb for it, as well as new fuel lines came with it, so that's going to be put into it. I brought the little gas tank here, and because it had the fuel line on here for size comparison. These are the right fuel lines. Also got him a new spark plug. And there's all the hold parts that I used for size comparison. Make sure I was getting the right thing. And so, still got this other item on the floor. Those go with the toolbox. That's the receipt. Get the bag out of the way. I also realized today when I was working with the Geo that I needed some really long screwdrivers and some really small ones. I've already got a lot of these. In this size, but what's cool about this is it's got the what do they call it, the Torx fittings on them, and I think I only have one screwdriver here at the house that has those fittings on it, so I ended up getting this for 10 bucks. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. I mean, it's just stuff for the house. But let me show off the box to you guys. Now the story behind this was I was in Lowe's today and I was looking around, and when I was going to pick up those screwdrivers, I was looking at some of their cheap boxes like this one. Now this one has a sticker price of $88.18 on it, and this is perfect for the garage because I can put my little toolbox on top of it and be cool. So I asked the guy about it, and he said, okay, let me get the number on it, off the barcode and everything, and check and see if we have it in stock. So about 5 minutes later, he comes back and tells me that they're all out of them. They have another cheap box, kind of like this one, except it was a two-piece, and it had a big, door at the bottom, and then two of the drawers on it, and then it had a standalone part like that, which had like 4 or 5 more drawers on that went on top. And that one was twice the price of this one. So I was like, well, okay, would you sell me the display one? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. And he gave me 10% off on it. It does have a few dings in it. Well, not dings, but I mean, it's got some white spray paint overspray here. And then where is it? You guys can't really see it here on the back. But I noticed it when I loaded it in the car. Maybe that was just dust, but some part of it looked like the paint had been scraped a little bit. But I don't know where that is. Maybe it was just dust or something, and you know, it disappeared. This thing is kind of dusty. I mean, you guys can't really see that, but there is dust on it. There's no ball bearings in this thing at all, but for the garage, it'll do its job just as, you know, it's intended. It's also got this side rack here for extension cords and stuff, I'm guessing, as well as a beer holder. And then here's the handle and everything. And I didn't even know if it came with that until I saw that the guy opened the drawer and was like, hey, here's the other screws. So, yeah. That's interesting. It's actually missing that part. Damn. Maybe I can somehow jury rig that on there or something. Or it's probably in the toolbox itself. And the other part to the story is I start wheeling it out and it feels like the wheels locked up. And they weren't. But as you guys can see, whoever the dickhead was who put this there, assembled this thing, they put the two casters that swivel on these two sides. The two casters over here are just straight. So I'm going to have to tip it on its side and see about changing those over. But all in all, I'd say it's a pretty damn good deal. And this isn't a box that I would, you know, bring to work or anything. This is just strictly for home use and home automotive and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start swapping the casters over, and I'm going to go start the upload on that other video. So I'll be back in a minute. Oh shit, guys. Look at that. Fix the casters. Go ahead and move things around a little bit. Let me go ahead and just, you know, put some of these tools away and show you guys what I'm going to do. There we go, that's good enough. You guys should still be able to see me. But first, before I do anything else, let's go ahead. That's weird. Some weird smell coming from my fridge, but anyways, let's go ahead, crack open a beer. Rightfully so, PBR. Try out my new beer holder. Now, if there isn't a better way to break in a new toolbox, it's like that. So, I'm not going to really bore you guys, even though some of you, a select few of you, wouldn't be bored about me reorganizing my toolbox. Before I get to doing that, I'm going to go ahead stick that bad boy right there. Now I'm going to get to organizing, so I'm going to cut out. Okay guys, so I got everything somewhat organized. Down here is just kind of all the paperwork and, you know, the gloves and everything. Over here is all my sockets, ratchet wrenches, screwdrivers, and a lot of the specialty tools made their way in here. The cherry hone for the Geo, the engine rebuild that I did. Oil filter wrench for the Geo, or a wrench end, you know. All my vice grips and shit like that, my soldering iron. I've got a extra screw extractor in here. Also have my, these could probably go with the screwdriver drawer. And then I've got my picks here too. Now I still have a bunch of tools. They're in my little blue cobalt box that are going to end up in here as well. There's a lot of deep sockets and stuff. But I did end up clearing out that little top box. So what I'm probably going to do is put all my like chemicals and stuff in that, like my RTV, that shellac sealant that I've got, and a whole bunch of other things, you know, if I can fit them in there. So I think that'll about do it for this video. And this is, I guess, some sort of review of this 5-drawer task force toolbox. So, and by the way, the construction's not all that good. That's like really cheap sheet metal. But as I mentioned before, I mean, it's just a garage box. I'm hopefully not going to put it through too much trauma. So I think it'll be good for what it's good at. And hopefully I'm going to have plenty of use out of it. So peace out, guys.